anhu, that the only way that a father could repay that a person could repay his father is through what? What would he have to do? Who said it? To find him as a slave and to purchase his freedom. It's the only way. And Rasulullah ﷺ used the word walid, right? And some of the scholars, they debated, they said walid means parents. It means mother or father. Okay? But the correct meaning is that it's just father. Because you can really never repay your mother back. It's impossible. Why would Rasulullah ﷺ use this terminology? Your father. And this is something that we hear but we don't truly understand sometimes, especially with men. Especially with men. Have you ever heard the statement more or less that the only person who wants you to have a better life than himself is your father? The only person. Your father actually wants you to live a better life than him. So Rasulullah ﷺ is saying the only way you repay your father, you find him a complete slave because he employs you with the tools in life. You find him as a complete slave and you give him your freedom, otherwise you can never repay him. But I want to come to one thing. Does Allah Azza wa Jal mention the favors of the father in the Quran? Does He? We know from the mother, Allah Azza wa Jal mentions her labor pains, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions all these things. Does Allah mention the father? وَوَصَّيْنَا الْإِنسَانَ بِوَالِدَيْهِ إِحْسَانًا حَمَلَتْهُ أُمُّهُ. Allah Azza wa Jal mentions the mother. Does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mention what the father did for you? No. Why do you think that is? I'm not going to try to pull a Sheikh Nu'man Ali Khan because mashallah he's incredible with linguistic tafsir. So I'm going to stick within my bounds when it comes to the meaning of as regards to walida. Sheikh Nu'man explained it beautifully. Okay, that there is walid and walida. And I'll just give a brief thing because I already opened the curiosity. I'm sure some of you may have heard it, but he did a very beautiful linguistic study of the difference between and walida. And walid and abi. Okay, or ab. Whereas walid and walida mean father and mother. And ab also mean father and mother, but it's to a different degree of respect. Okay? Walid is someone who gave birth to you. A father who was responsible for your birth. Walida is the mother who conceived you. But you have to earn ab and You have to earn that title. Okay? So if a father leaves his child before she's even born or he's even born, is he ab? No. He's not the ab, but he's the walid. What about the Does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala command us to be good to al-walidain or to your and your ab? Allah Azza wa Jalla says, وَوَصَّيْنَا الْإِنسَانَ بِوَالِدَيْهِ إِحْسَانًا. We enjoin the person with ihsan towards his father and his mother, his birth father, his birth mother. Meaning what? If your father did absolutely nothing for you in life, you still have to be good to him. You can't complain. Then Allah Azza wa Jalla says, حَمَلَتْهُ أُمُّهُ. His mother held him. Meaning she already earned the title of before you were even delivered. Because she held you for 9 months. She went through all that. Okay? And Allah Azza wa Jalla specifically mentions the pains of the mother. Why? Why is that? And this is something that's very, very beautiful in the language of the Quran. I'm not going into the linguistic tafsir. Why Allah Azza wa Jalla mentions the favors of the mother. Whenever the son gets old, the daughter gets old. And the son and the daughter says, I want a car. And goes to the mom. What does the mom typically say? Go ask your dad. Go talk to that guy. It's not my call. Usually the mother delegates the role of authority to the father. And usually the child treats the father with more respect than the mother. Why? Because my mom gets emotional, she cries too much, she's, those types of things. Because we don't remember. We cannot possibly remember what it was like for our mothers to hold us, to carry us, to give birth to us. We can't remember that. So naturally we have a tendency to disbelieve in that. To have a sense of kufr of that. To deny it, either with our tongues or with our actions. Or we don't appreciate it at all. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us, your mother is the one that held you. She's the one that delivered you in pain and went through all of that. Never forget that woman. Never forget her. Never forget your father. Definitely. It's not to decrease the role of the father. But we tend to forget things. We don't have very good sight of the past. We don't have very good hindsight. We can't see very far in the past. We don't remember what it was like as babies until we have our own babies. And if we're half decent people again, then we think about it a little bit more. But especially your mother, you forget it more easily. So dear brothers and sisters, in conclusion of all of this, don't always just look at things in front of you as they are. And don't just build your relationships on benefits and those types of things. Think about what people have done for you. Think about all of the people who have done things for you in your life. Be it your mother, your father, your husband, your wife, your child, your brother, your sister, a friend, someone who was there for you. And if you do not show gratefulness to that person, you know what happens on the Day of Judgment? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala claims their right. Okay? And especially when we think about marriage, for example, especially in marriage. Because this is, and I'm going to just end on this note, inshaAllah ta'ala, where it's almost like, a cat and mouse game sometimes. Right? I'm trying to remind you of how much I've done for you and trying to remind you of what a terrible spouse you are, either implicitly or explicitly, so I can get better treatment from your side, more gratefulness from your side. Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu, one of the things that he used to do, what was the meaning of the word shukr, by the way? Extra.